Imagine a place nestled deep within Judge C.R. Magny State Park, up in northern Minnesota. It's a spot where, honestly, the laws of nature just seem to, well, bend, or maybe break. We're talking about the Brule River encountering this rock formation. And part of the river, it hits this dark hole and just vanishes.
Gone.
Yeah, exactly. They call it the Devil's Kettle. And it raises this huge, baffling question that people have asked for ages. Where does all that water go?
And that's what we're diving into today. This is one of those great American mysteries, really. We'll look at the science, the attempts to explain it geologically.
Right.
Then we'll touch on the older legends, the stories that grew up around this place. And finally, yeah, we have to get into the conspiracy theories. The idea is that this waterfall is maybe something much stranger than just nature.
Because it feels like more than just missing water, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It feels symbolic.
It definitely pushes boundaries.
Is it a natural oddity? A portal? Some kind of secret? Something else?
Yeah.
So picture the scene. The Brule River, flowing strong through Minnesota's Arrowhead region, it hits this big rock outcrop and splits. Normal enough, right?
Happens all the time.
One side drops over a nice standard waterfall, goes downstream, nothing to see there really.
Predictable.
But the other side, that's the puzzle. It pours straight down into this deep, dark hole in the rock.
Yeah.
And just disappears. It doesn't seem to come out anywhere nearby.
And that's the fundamental challenge, isn't it? Basic physics tells us water has to go somewhere. It flows downhill, follows the path of least resistance.
Gravity 101.
Exactly. But the Devil's Kettle seems to defy that. It goes in, but there's no obvious out. It's this total lack of a visible or even detectable outflow that's fascinated and frankly frustrated people for so long.
Oh, absolutely. And people have tried everything to figure it out. For decades, they've chucked stuff in there.
Yeah.
Sticks, ping pong balls.
I've heard logs, even GPS trackers, though maybe that's just rumor.
Right. And dyes. Brightly colored dyes you'd think you could spot a mile away if they popped up downstream.
You'd certainly expect to.
They wait. They watch the river further down, searching for any sign. But here's the kicker, the really unsettling part.
Nothing.
Not a single object, not a whisper of dye tossed into the Devil's Kettle has ever been conclusively found again. Okay, just pause on that. Imagine standing there. You throw something in.
And it ceases to exist in your world.
Yeah. It's like nature's doing a magic trick but refusing to show you the reveal. Wild.
So naturally, science has tried to step in, find a rational explanation.
Of course.
The most common geological idea you hear is lava tubes.
Okay, makes sense on the surface. Water goes into underground tubes.
Travels through this hidden network.
And rejoins the main river somewhere downstream, maybe underwater, out of sight.
Plausible, right. Except there's a big problem with that.
Which is?
Lava tubes form in volcanic rock. Think Hawaii, Iceland, places with, recent volcanic activity.
But fault flows.
Minnesota's geology, it's ancient, mostly sedimentary metamorphic rock. Not really lava tube territory. It just doesn't fit the geological profile.
So the rock type is wrong.
Fundamentally, yes. And besides that, even if there were some weird hidden tubes, those dye tests over the years, they really should have shown something downstream, even if the water was coming out diffusely.
But they didn't.
They didn't. So the geology argues against it, and the experiments haven't backed it up. It actually makes the mystery deeper, not simpler.
Okay, so if lava tubes are basically out, that brings us to 2017. There was a lot of buzz then.
Ah, yes, the study that claimed to have solved it.
Right. Their method was clever, you have to admit. They measured water volume.
Flow rates, yeah. How much water went into the Kettle area versus how much was flowing downstream past the falls.
And they said the numbers matched. The volume above the falls equaled the volume below.
Implying the water from the Kettle must be rejoining the river underground, somehow, somewhere very close by.
Case closed. Problem solved.
No, not so fast. It's a neat mathematical conclusion, right?
Seems logical.
But it's based entirely on indirect evidence. Math. Calculations. There was still no dye confirmation, no objects recovered, no one actually seeing where the water reemerges.
Just inference.
Exactly. And that lack of direct proof, it raised a lot of eyebrows. Locals, visitors, people who study these kinds of anomalies.
Conspiracy researchers, maybe.
Them too. Many felt it was less of a solution and more of a dismissal. A way to tidy up a messy problem without actually finding the smoking gun, so to speak.
So the core issue remains.
The truth is, yeah, no one has ever seen where that water comes out. And for a mystery, this weird math alone hasn't quite cut it for everyone.
That makes sense. And, long before scientists showed up with flow meters, the indigenous tribes who lived there for centuries They had their own understanding of places like this.
They often did. Vanishing rivers weren't unknown in their stories.
They saw them as powerful spots, sometimes portals to the spirit world.
Gateways between realms.
Or sometimes darker places, cursed spots, like the mouths of demons, or maybe prisons for, restless spirits.
A very different perspective than geology.
Absolutely. And that name, Devil's Kettle. It's not exactly inviting, is it?
No, it definitely isn't. It immediately conjures something ominous. A kettle suggests boiling, an endless cauldron just swallowing everything thrown into it, maybe something dark brewing underneath.
That connection to some kind of dark power, it's baked right into the name. Predates all the modern theories.
And you still feel it there, people say.
Yeah, hikers often report this eerie feeling, like they're being watched.
A sense of unease.
Totally. And there are stories, anecdotal of course, but stories of electronics going haywire near the falls. Phones dying, compasses spinning.
Animals reacting strangely.
Dogs, yeah. Apparently some dogs just bark and bark at the hole, refuse to get close, like they sense something we don't.
Interesting.
What do you make of that? Ever been somewhere that just felt off? Defied easy explanation?
Oh, definitely. Those kinds of personal, visceral experiences often push people past the purely scientific explanations.
Which leads us naturally away from geology and history and straight into the really wild stuff.
The deep end of the conspiracy pool.
Pretty much. The idea that the Devil's Kettle isn't geology at all. It's a portal.
The somewhere else theory. Not just underground, but elsewhere.
Another dimension.
Yeah, maybe a parallel reality. The idea is the kettle is a thin place.
A thin place.
It's a spot where the veil between our world and others is porous. Where reality itself is maybe a bit worn down, allowing things to slip through. Energy, matter, who knows?
Wow, that's a leap.
It connects ancient folklore about gateways with modern sort of esoteric ideas, places that challenge our basic sense of reality.
And some take it even further, right? Not just a natural portal,
Like
but
man-made, or maybe not man-made.
engineered. By who? Secret societies, ancient lost civilizations.
The usual suspects. Aliens, interdimensional beings, someone who knew how to manipulate space-time.
Okay, but if you entertain that idea, even for a second.
It does solve the scientific problem, doesn't it?
How so?
Because the water isn't lost in our world. It's not flowing back into the Brule River down some hidden channel we just can't find. It's flowing into somewhere else entirely. Another dimension, another reality.
So the rules of our physics just stop applying at the edge of the hole.
Precisely. It bypasses all the geological contradictions because it posits a different set of rules apply beyond that point.
Okay, so if this thing is potentially that significant, a geological puzzle, maybe a portal, whatever, why hasn't there been a massive, all-out investigation?
Good question. The USGS, the Minnesota DNR, university researchers, they've poked at it. Limited studies.
But no huge public project to definitively crack it. Why not?
Well, the skeptical view is simple. Cost versus benefit. It's a curiosity, maybe, but probably not worth millions in research funds when there are other priorities.
Okay, the practical answer.
The lack of a definitive answer, the persistence of the mystery, that fuels the other side.
The conspiracy angle.
Right. That the government or some agency already knows the truth, or part of it, and they'd rather we didn't. Think about it. If you had a place in your country where physics seemed broken, where things vanished, would you just leave it open for tourists with iPhones?
Probably not.
Or would you study it quietly? Maybe put out a simple, plausible-sounding explanation to stop people asking too many questions.
Like the flow rate study.
Some would certainly see it that way. A convenient solution to close the book publicly.
And this leads to darker theories, doesn't it? Monitoring.
Claims that the site is quietly watched, maybe by agencies linked to military research, advanced physics.
And connections to other conspiracy hotspots.
You hear links to places like Dulce Base in New Mexico, that infamous supposed underground facility. Like the Kettle is part of some network of anomalous zones.
Or even ritual use.
Yeah, that's out there too. The idea that certain groups use it because anything offered isn't just lost, it's received by whatever's on the other side. It all taps into this undercurrent of distrust, doesn't it? The feeling that official explanations might be incomplete or deliberately misleading to hide something profound.
Beyond government secrets, though, there's the straight-up paranormal.
Absolutely. Some folks take the name literally.
A gateway to hell.
A genuine fissure connecting our world to some infernal dimension. A crack where dark forces could potentially cross over.
That's intense.
And it broadens out. You get these reports unverified, usually whispered, of strange lights near the falls at night.
Like UFOs. Or something else.
Could be interpreted that way. Or just inexplicable lights. People claim to see shadows moving in the water when no one's there.
Voices, too.
Yeah, accounts of voices carried on the mist. Speaking unknown languages, it paints a picture far beyond simple geology.
And then you have the cryptid hunters getting involved.
Always looking for hidden corners of the world.
They suggest maybe the Kettle connects to huge underground cave systems we don't know about.
Places where unknown creatures could live? Bigfoot, maybe?
Yeah.
Or stranger things.
Interdimensional beings crossing over.
It fits that narrative, yeah. A hidden world beneath our feet, accessible through these strange entry points.
And what about connections to, like, ley lines or power grids? Secret societies.
That's another layer. The idea that the Devil's Kettle isn't isolated, but part of a network of powerful sites across the continent.
Known to groups like the Freemasons, Illuminati.
So the theory goes that these groups understand these power points and maybe even use them. In that context, the Kettle becomes less a natural anomaly and more a tool, a ritual site.
Where offerings vanish without a trace because the earth itself, or whatever the site connects to, consumes them.
Exactly, a perfect disposal method if you believe that sort of thing.
Okay, here's maybe the wildest idea yet. What if it's not about space, but about time?
A temporal portal.
Yeah. What if the water isn't going underground, or to another dimension,
Yeah.
but at a time?
Whoa, okay, unpack that.
Like the water disappears from now and reappears somewhere else in the timeline.
So the water and anything thrown in could emerge thousands of years in the past. Or the future.
Imagine. That ping pong ball reappearing in, I don't know, 10,000 BC or 3000 AD.
That fundamentally breaks our understanding of causality, doesn't it?
Completely.
It sounds fantastical, but it resonates with very old myths, legends from different cultures about caves leading to lands of giants or wells connecting to fairy realms.
Places where time works differently.
Exactly. Maybe the Devil's Kettle is one of those spots, a glitch in time.
So the things tossed in aren't really lost.
Displaced, waiting in another win. A fascinating, if mind-bending, possibility.
So we've covered a lot of ground. Geology, folklore, portals, government secrets, time travel. What is the Devil's Kettle then? Just complex geology we haven't quite figured out.
Yeah.
A trick of water flow solved by math.
Or is it truly something else, a real portal, a ritual spot, a secret the government is hiding?
A wound in the fabric of reality where space and time get weird.
I think the key takeaway here really is that the Kettle reminds us the world isn't always neat and tidy. It's not always fully explained by our current science or our accepted narratives. Mysteries persist.
Big ones.
And they challenge us, right? To question, to explore, to admit we don't know everything. The Kettle embodies that uncertainty.
Yeah. And until someone can definitively, physically show us where that water ends up,
with direct proof,
it's going to remain one of America's great chilling conspiracies.
Yeah.
That water just keeps pouring into the dark,
Yeah.
never seen again.
A river lost to the unknown. Maybe the answer is simple geology after all. Maybe it's something far stranger, even terrifying. Either way, the water keeps falling, on and on. And from our perspective, it never comes back.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other secrets is the Earth keeping, just hidden from view, waiting for us to stumble upon them?